I'm Sue McMahon and I'm cookery editor of Woman's Weekly magazine, and I'm going to show you how to make chocolate puddings with a melting middle centre. The puddings are cooked in these cooking rings, stainless steel rings, and the first thing I need to do is to prepare these. So I've got a square of baking parchment, which is going to be the base. Then I'm going to butter generously inside the ring, over the base and up the sides. And then I'm going to take a strip of baking parchment and place it around inside the ring, touching the base, and I'm going to butter inside this. Now I need to do 6 rings all the same. So once you've done all 6 of them, the tray then needs to be put in the fridge or even the freezer to cool it down until the butter sets. So for the puddings, I've started to melt the chocolate a little bit, and now I'm going to add the butter. The butter is softened and is at room temperature, and I'm going to pop it back in the microwave to melt it fully. So I find to begin with I give it 1 minute at a time, and then when it's nearly melted I give it 30-second bursts. I'm going to check it at the end of the first minute. And actually, this is done enough, it doesn't need any longer in the microwave. I can still feel a couple lumps of chocolate, but that will melt from the heat in the bowl. So once that's nice and smooth, I'm going to add the icing sugar and the brandy. And then I'm going to tip in the egg whites. Now when you do this, you don't want to get too much air into the mixture, or when it cooks it will bubble up like a souffle. And I find once it gets to this stage it looks like the mixture's curdled. You can either keep stirring it, or the easiest way is if you have a stick blender, you can actually whiz the mixture until it's smooth. So you can see at this stage it's a nice smooth glossy mixture. So the next thing is to divide the mixture between the cooking rings. You can see that they've set and that the butter has formed a nice seal around the bottom of the ring. So what I'm going to do is to divide the mixture between the rings. If you don't have cooking rings, you can cook these in ramekin dishes, but they might take a little bit longer to cook because the heat has to go through the ceramic dishes, whereas this metal will heat up quite quickly. Now these need to be chilled until they're really firm, so I normally give them at least a couple of hours, or if you want to at this stage you can freeze them and then you can cook them from frozen. So the advantage of having put each of these on a separate square of paper is I can cook the number I want. So I'm just going to cook 3 of these, and because they're solid I was able to use a palette knife underneath them to lift them onto a different baking tray. So I'm going to put these in the oven at 200 degrees centigrade, and they'll probably take between 6 and 10 minutes. So I'll start off the timer at 6 minutes. If you're cooking them from frozen, then they'll take between 10 and 15 minutes. So when these are done, they should be set around the outside, but they should look slightly runny still in the middle. So to serve them, I'm going to put them one at a time onto a plate, then take away the paper from the bottom, and then you need to lift away the cooking ring and take away the paper. If you like, you can dust a little bit of icing sugar over the top. It just softens the colour of them a little bit. Then I'm going to put some creme fraiche on top with a little sprig of mint. So that's now ready to serve. Now with these, when you cut into them, hopefully the centre should still be runny and oozing a little bit. So that's my finished melting centre chocolates.